just sleep in the same house. We are roommates. Kind of. Yes, it gets there.
Ni trauma. Bro, ni trauma.
Welcome to One-on-One with Kajim, where real people share real stories that inspire and transform. From raw truth of the highs and lows of marriage to business, street smart tactics from founders who cash the checks and the powerful voices behind humanitarian change, Kajim sits down with the people making it happen. New episodes drop every Monday and Thursday. One-on-One with Kajim, where every conversation hits home.
Hi guys, and welcome to One-on-One with Kajim. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Asanteni sana. I didn't know that conversation about suicide is that deep. And I think it's time also I bring that lady, that therapist. Because these are the conversations that you guys you don't want to talk about. And if you are new here, make sure that you watch this video. Iko hapa chini. Enda watch, usikie maneno. Angalia comments. Wale watu wenye wamekuja inbox ni wengi sana. Thank you so much. And it is na hiyo ni kuonyesha kwamba we need to have these conversations oftenly. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kajim. Once again, this is One-on-One with Kajim. And on today's episode, I'm so happy. And today we are not two. We are three. And where two or three are gathered, Christ is there. Introducing my first guest, my Wambui. Introducing my third guest, Madam Irene Njoroge. Tuanze hapo. Ndio sasa watu wanashangaa, leo tuko watatu aje? Yes, because the conversation today is deep. It is deep. And these are the conversations zenye hamutaki kuongea nyinyi, yeah? But now we are here to make sure that we have those conversations. Maybe you can start from Madam Irene Njoroge. You can say hi to my viewers. And they were so happy, by the way, for the last conversations.
I am so glad, and it's glad. I'm glad to be here back again on
Yes.
One-on-One with Kajim.
Yes.
Very privileged and honored to sit next to Wambui as well. Yes, it's my first time meeting her.
Yeah.
So, and you're beautiful and very graceful.
Thank you.
Yes, and you have really made this guy shine. Yes, let's start there. Yes, yeah. My name is Irene Njoroge, and personally, I am a married mother of two, 26-year-old and 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Professionally, I'm in the mental health space. When we were talking about suicide, I talked about a bit more about my work. So, and I am so glad to be here. Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. And this beautiful lady.
Well, nimesikia 16-year-old
And 26.
and 26. Oh my goodness. Okay, I am a mother of a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and I'm Wambui Kajim, and I'm so happy that you're here again. And I'm hoping that we'll be having you more and more. Yeah.
I have it.
We should tap your wisdom and your knowledge, by the way. And I didn't know that behavior... There is a course called behavior. Then unaenda
Profession
tu
called behavioral therapy.
behavior therapist. And then that and more reason as to why you are here on today's podcast, because we want now to have a conversation about marriage. When you are growing up, what did you think about marriage from the people that you are seeing, starting maybe from your family?
One, I knew that I wanted to be married and to get married. I grew up with both my parents, and I am that child that you give birth after you have forgotten everything. Yes, my mother was in her 50s.
Oh,
I am the last born
okay.
of 8 siblings. So, and the one I follow was in high school when I was born. So one of the things that I grew up is with my mother in that age, where she was the one that younger women would come to for support, for advice, because she's elderly.
Yeah.
And I used to hear all of those things. And then my mother in her Kikuyu wisdom will tell me, "Ndukae guthikiriria mathĩna ma andũ wĩcirie athuri ti ega athuri nĩ ega kũringanaga na ũrĩa ũgũikarania na waku. So that in Kikuyu. So me, I knew. I also watched my parents. When I was growing up, my dad was working. He would come home like Saturdays, every other Saturday, all of that. And then later on, he retired. Growing up with my mom, for the most part, obviously I had a lot of, her grievances with my father. Remember, I am now the only child at home.
Yes.
So these years had a lot about what she was not happy with our dad. But also the times that she would reflect on how grateful she was that she found the institution of marriage. So the conclusion that I made is that I wanted to be married, but I also wanted to create the version of marriage that I want, not that I have seen. So, yeah, and I think now, because of the context in which I talked about when we were talking about suicide,
Yes.
we had a lot of issues going on, pain and stuff. I also wanted an institution that is authentic, that is real, because I felt growing up like I was performing for society. Because when you come from such kind of shame of alcoholism and mental illness, and when you are labeled like that, you create masks. And I wore those masks perfectly. I was, the role model child, kind of. Yes, that Akina, other mothers in the village will say, I knew everything, how to milk, how to carry manure, how to do everything. And I did it. And, maybe because my mother was elderly, so I was helping. So one of the things that I told myself, I wanted to pursue education, because I didn't want to be a married woman working like that. Yeah.
So you already loved the institution of marriage from your own parents.
Yes.
So they were a good example.
My mother particularly. Yes. She had her grievances, but she also respected our dad.
Yeah.
And she honored the institution. Yes. And she passed those values.
Wow.
Yeah.
My Wambui.
Well, for me, I didn't grow up with a mom and a dad. I grew up with my grandparents. I was raised by my grandparents because my mom was not, she's alive, yes, but she was not there. She didn't bring me up, and because she got married and left me at home. She gave birth to me when she was really young. And I actually don't know how it feels to call someone dad, because I've never ever seen a dad.
You have the daddy here.
Yeah, so for me, about marriage, I've learned it with my grandpa and my grandma because they really loved each other. Let me tell you, if there is a marriage that I loved, was between my grandparents. My grandpa loved my shosho really. Yani alikuwa anampenda ile kabisa. Unaona the way nakwambianga sometimes, like, I just love marriage. I love being loved because I saw that when I was growing up. Everything my grandpa would just bring my grandma gifts. Like even Valentine. They used to
gifts?
celebrate Valentine. Yeah, and they were grandparents. Yeah.
Allah?
My grandpa was an architecture. Is an architecture. Venye sai amegrow old kidogo. So he used to work in Nairobi, and he would come every day.
Eish.
Every day. He used to take care of us, and actually me. When I say us, is me and my grandma. Actually, I was considered to be the last born of my grandparents. Yeah, my grandparents. So I knew love from way back.
From them now.
Yeah, from them, because they were so perfect. I was there. Yani, they were always happy. They were always loving each other loudly.
Aye.
Yeah. My grandpa was that kind of a man that, the way we usually say Kikuyu men and some kind of age, like kuna ile masculinity yenye inakuanga yenye doesn't make sense. My grandpa was never that. My grandpa would buy me everything that I wanted, even if I wanted the most. Like everything. When I say everything, my grandpa would just buy for me. He was never ashamed to do the things that he would, that a man of this age would do. Yeah.
So you already knew that probably one day you'll get married.
Yeah.
From that example.
Yeah, I loved the idea of getting married, and I was just longing to just get married because I knew it was a happy place, because I did not go through any trauma with my grandparents. But whenever I used to go say hi to my mom, because we are 4 children and we are not of the same father, like babangu si baba yao. So unaona mimi nilikuwa peke yangu. So ile time nilikuwa naenda kwa mathe, of course I didn't like whatever I used to see, because what was that? Yeah, so it was not a happy one. It was not something I would just, even sometimes I would just close school and I'm like, no, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to stay here because
With
it was
Shushu and
toxic.
Guka.
Yeah, for my mom it was toxic. And she's single right now, so.
So, and personally, I would say that I didn't grow up with a very perfect example of how a marriage institution looks like, because I was also born out of wedlock. My mom was not married. So in the same case, I don't know how to call someone a dad. Yeah. And then my mom passed when I was, I think, 10 years old. So I've been brought up by Guka and Shushu. Looking at the family, my aunts, my uncles, to go through. So I didn't grow up with that inspiration from the family, like uncle flani. But now outside now home, the extended family, there is that one couple here and there. You see, then you're like, wow, must be nice. I remember there is one couple. They used to drink, but I used to love that couple because every time they could drink, walikuwa wanaenda kama wameshikana hivi, wanaenda hivi, wanaanguka pamoja hivi, wameshikana hivi. I used to love that, and then I was like, love. So now it brings that whole conversation now brings us to the topic of the day, which is now relationships and traumas. Some of the things that probably we grew up seeing, some of the things that we tuliona. There are people that, and I think ulitusaidia sana last time, and so many people have actually even come to my inbox telling me, I'm sorry that I judged wrongly. There are people who are not in marriage today, not because they wouldn't like to be in that institution, but because of the traumas. So, and now that brings us to the conversation of the day. How can unresolved trauma show up in relationships?
Hey, where should we start? Everywhere.
Yeah?
It's the bomb.
It shows up everywhere. And we're in so many ways, because let's start with actually what trauma is. A lot of people, especially this, it's a buzzword now.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about
trauma. Niko na trauma ya githeri.
Yeah, maybe that is trauma to someone. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Yeah. But what really is trauma? And maybe let me just give some professional insight there. So trauma is any event, any experience, any encounter that creates fear the inside. Okay? And there are 2 types of trauma. A lot of people know what we call post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, as a symptom or the outcome of trauma. And that kind of trauma, we call it shock trauma. It is a one-time experience where, for example, you witness someone being murdered. or you witness something so traumatic, like what we saw, during the protests, that memory stays with you. It shocks you and it creates intense fear. So some people may relive that experience maybe in their dreams, in nightmares, or they avoid going to places like those, talking about it, hearing. So that is shock trauma. The trauma that comes into relationships is not that.
Oh.
Yes, it is what we call now, as behavioral therapists, complex trauma. This is trauma does not actually, during the time you are going through that experience, it's not traumatic. There is nothing to suggest to you it is traumatic. In most cases, it could be experiencing maybe domestic violence at home. You are a child in that home. That kind of trauma, you live in it every day, and there is no way to escape it. But your body, your brain lives in constant fear. This threat does not leave. You see, if you see a motor vehicle accident,
Yes.
over time, because you don't see them every day, you kind of gradually heal. Some of them are so vivid that people need mental health treatment for PTSD. But this one, you live in it every day. Maybe you see intimate partner violence with your parents, substance use with your parents. Maybe you grow up being molested and you don't tell anyone and no one knows, and you cannot leave the home and you cannot run away from the abuser or do something. So it's trauma that you experiences that are painful, that you go through on a daily basis, but even to you, they have become normal. Or extreme poverty. They have become normal. So that is what we call complex trauma, because it erodes the core of who you are. Yes.
You tend to think that life should be like that.
Yeah, because that's all you've known.
By the way.
Especially when it starts to happen when you're very young. Your brain adapts to that because it is too much for your brain to live with fear all the time. Okay? So if the threat is home, how does the threat of home go away? So you go to school, it is still there. You sleep, it is still there. So what happens? People create adaptations, survival adaptations.
Oh, that's
To
why.
deal, to be able to
Yes.
cope and to survive, because
Yes.
your brain will do that for you. It will create
That's why
survival.
some people have really serious issue about maybe trust.
Trust is one. Yes.
Yani
One.
huyu haezi amini.
Yes.
Men are the same. Nini,
Yes.
nini.
Yes. So it impacts trust. It impacts even your own sense of self. So there are people who fundamentally believe that there is something wrong with them. Because
Okay.
if I was a good person, why would things like those happen to me? So the only reason they happen to me because I'm not a good person. And that is detrimental. But that does not stop people from doing all the other things and becoming successful. And now it's in our work, we can see those trauma responses. They show up. Now in relationships, they unmask themselves because relationships are going to push your button. Yes. So that trauma, complex trauma, it's what we call now CPTSD in our line of work. It is quite complex, and that is the one that I tell people every single person requires healing for this. No PTSD, because if you're Kenyan, it is started from colonization. So, and it is passed down. That trauma, it is intergenerational. So you may not even have experienced it, but your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers, and it is passed down because it is also relational. It is passed down.
Where should I know what she's going through or her life? Is it before marriage or is it during marriage? Because I have seen so many people who have divorced. It is the time that they are realizing that imagine hata haikuwa maneno mingi. Ni background yangu na yake hatukuwa tumia line. Yes. At which stage is someone supposed to be aware?
Before you even think about dating. And I'm saying that with all humility because me, I got into dating and marriage with my own trauma.
Allah?
Poor my husband.
Yes. Tell us about that.
Let's just say he married trauma unknowingly. trauma can be packaged very beautifully.
Yeah.
And especially when you form these survival adaptations, you
Ooh.
become so good at wearing masks. Yes, and those masks are what we are attracted to in most cases. And that is why we are also a society that is so disauthentic. We don't show our real selves. There is always a mask and another one and another one. Like the real you is so far away that, and I wish I had a whiteboard. When I'm training, I usually draw, like think about your life or in general in 3 circles. The innermost circle is the little one. That's the real you. Okay?
Okay.
The real you is the you that was born needing to be seen, heard, and understood. That's it. That's all what we all need emotionally. But then, where were you born? Who was raising you? What was surrounding you? So in that environment, you start picking up things that you realize, by the way, if I show up like this, I'm not seen. If I do this, I'm not heard. If I do this, I'm not understood. So we started creating some two roles, usually performative, some two roles to please mom and dad, to please social, to please teacher. You see? So we create, on top of that real self, we put a mask called the role. You start playing roles.
Yes.
This role is the nice boy, good boy, the smart one. And that one, I was Academy Award winner in being particularly the nice one. Yes, the nice one, the one who is always looking out for others. Why? Because what happens when you are the nice one or the smart one in class and everyone is applauding, see? Yeah.
You keep on doing it.
We play the roles is because they make us feel seen. People see, they applaud. They say, unajua Kajim, unajua Irene, unajua Wambui. You see? So because these roles, for one, we start to feel seen, so we abandon our real self. So now we know, okay, this is my game now. So the role you play in your home, to be the obedient one, like if you're in a family of 4 or 6, ati wewe tu ndio unajua kupika chapo. Kama Wambui hajazipika, huku atukuli chapo. That was Irene. Wewe tu ndio unajua tu
Chapo za Irene.
Mimi kwanza, I was a milker. Kama hakujakamuliwa hata ng'ombe itapata mastitis. Yes, kama sijakamua. So I was the jack of all of those chores. And because that made my mother very happy. And also the women who came to visit our home,
Wow.
I served them
Si
tea.
mfanane kama ule msichana.
Yeah, so I was the role model. And that feels very good if that's for the first time you feel important and validated. So you keep it.
So these ones, the roles that you are doing,
Yeah.
they are not out of that you love them. We start from there.
It's a sense
It
of
is
obligation
Yes, and a sense of I'm seen, I'm heard,
and understood.
and understood.
It's all fog-based, Fog stands for fear. If I don't do it, what will people say? O is for obligation. See, I'm Mami's daughter. See, I'm the only one.
Yes.
See, I'm the nice one in class. See, I'm the smart one. All of that. So sense of obligation that if you didn't do it, no one would.
Yes.
Yes. And then the other one is guilt. Guilt of, because also when you don't do it, what happens? See, you'll be made to feel guilty, right? So that
Sijakamua.
fog, fear, obligation, and guilt is what keeps us in those roles. And so that is the first mask we form around our real self. And then, see, we leave homes. Me, I was born in Manguko, Mukure. So see, I've left. I've gone to Canada. I am back in Kenya.
Yes.
So guess
Canada
what?
for like 26 years.
Yeah, 24.
24
So
years.
the people that I'm interacting with there, they don't even know where I'm from. They just know I'm black. So what happens? I have to up the game, the performance. So now I'm reading the environment because I'm older, I'm an adult now. How do women who look like me or my age behave like? How do women who are married behave like? So I start to read society, and now I create another layer of ideals of society. I'm living by society ideals. Do you see how deep my real self is? Now what drives me is what I imagine. This now is even an imagination that will make me approved, that will make me validated and
Seen.
accepted and fit in the society. So this ideal kwanza hapo, now the real me is not even there. Every day I adapt, I put on a different performance.
Unajua niko Canada, so this is how they do this and this.
Now, Canadians is even better because they don't really care. You're black, you're black. It is when now I'm in Canada. So what do you think I need to put up for my family who are back home and my friends? When the rain starts beating you in that ideal, you know, you even start calling neighbors, asking whether they have paid school fees, walipia wajua uko majuu. Yeah. So it is, so the ideal self really is such a self-sabotaging place to be, because when will society tell you, okay, Kajim, that is enough? Right? Okay, you
Never.
Pulo, iko sawa.
The society will keep shifting goalposts. So
And
you
demanding.
so
And
actually,
entitlement.
that's the thing. Yes, entitlement from family, from friends. So the stress that we go through when we are in that, living in that ideal mask layer, it is because there is never enough. So every day you are putting up a different game every single day. It is so exhausting.
But then again, you see, when you become your real self, when you show now, you unmask all those things and you're like, you know what, I'm at a point in life that I just want to be myself and, you know, take in what I deserve and show and give what I want. But then again,
You are
people are
labeled.
not ready for yourself. Like, they are not ready for you to be you. When
Yeah.
you show who you are, they're like, no, Wambui has changed.
Amechange.
Wambui has, you know, Wambui is no longer
Drastically.
like this and all that. But then again, you're at a point in life, you're like, you know what? I'm not going to just wait and seek validation from people. I'll not do what people want me to do. I'll do what I want to do because that is who I am. But people are not ready for you. They will not receive it. But then and then again you're like, you know what? I think I should just do, you know, you just go back now because people are never ready for your true self. People will never be ready for that. Even when you're married, maybe you're married, you just do things because, you know, my husband liked this thing and all that. It's okay, I can do that and all that. But deep down, I'm like, oh my God, I don't like this. You know, my husband liked me ironing his clothes. And deep down, I really don't like ironing clothes. I don't.
Makes the
I
two of us.
don't at all. I don't. So, okay, I can easily pay someone, but my husband is like, you know, I feel it. You know, I feel better when you do it, but I don't like it. I don't like it, and that is me. And then that's where you see, like, we have started having arguments. You know, oh, you're my wife. I'm not feeling like you're doing these things
Enough.
for me, enough for me. You know, but that is my true self. Why do you want me to just show you another layer of me that is not me? So
how do we deal
do you
with
even how do you even
people?
balance that? Because you want to be your true self, but people that surround you, whether in marriage, colleagues, you know, your best friends, everyone in church, kwanza in church. Let me tell you, in church you cannot be yourself. You know, because there's so much of expectations that you're supposed to be doing. And that is not your true self. So I wonder where we draw the line and how are we going to make ourselves accepted out there for who we are.
Very good question. And I mix the two of us. Ironing, apana. I
True
can show
story.
you a mother who sells steamers. But story for another day. One, yes, when you show up as your real you, you're not going to be accepted. And it is selfish of you to actually require other people to accept you because they don't have to. They don't need to. Remember, the reason we follow roles, it is why. The cause of these roles and ideals
To be seen.
is to be accepted. You see,
Yeah.
the threat for lack of belonging, it is so painful that we sacrifice our authenticity. We suppress our authenticity just so that we can belong.
And fit in.
Yes. So hili, you must die. The need to belong in you must first die if you're going to be your real self, because the threat is too much. So church, family, society, it is you choose, because one thing I can guarantee you, the day, and this has happened in my life, the day you choose to express your authentic self, and sometimes many of us may keep playing the roles even when we know we are playing. Like in my case, my mother died in 2021. And I had been in therapy in Canada, and I had healed, and I was treating people. But there was a part of me that was still playing roles. Knowingly, I knew I'm still doing that in my family and in society. Why? Because my mother was in her 90s, especially when I moved back to Kenya 4 years ago. There was no way, no matter how much I know, I was going to put my mother through the pain of now experiencing the real me to prove what? That is my mother. So I knew that I am still playing roles because I'm not going to put my mother in that pain. Because the real you is painful to people. It's not nice.
What do you mean? Are
Yes.
we naturally bad?
It
Because,
is.
like, you know, the real me, for example, the real me is I love someone who is really present for me. I hate being judged from your point of view. Like, however you view life, you judge me through that. I don't like it. So, like, how is that my problem? Like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And the moment now the
So
real
there
you
is-
comes in,
Yeah.
you become like that person hata kanatumwa hakaendi haka kamtoto.
You start confronting people.
Yes.
But then, so you have to choose who you want to confront and who you don't want. Like in my case, I chose, no, I don't want to prove anything to my mother.
Yeah.
So I just let her be. Outside, I did my thing. But at home, I was still her little girl. I was still the one she would command, pay here, do this, send money to that one. I still did it up until the day I buried her. But I knew what I was doing.
Because you are
yes.
after therapy.
Yes.
So you know,
Yes,
at
I
this
knew.
point, you know,
I
you're
knew.
playing a role. This is not me.
Yes, I knew. It was very clear. For many years, it was very
So
clear.
sometimes in life, we just do things. Okay, at this point, you know, like you don't want validation. You're doing out of
Just respect and honor.
let me just play this role for us to be at peace.
Yeah.
Though this is not me, but for us to be okay, I'll do it. But with now the understanding of I don't want validation from you. I just want you to be happy.
Yes. It does not matter whether I get it or not. And in that case, for example, is one of the things that you start, when you embrace your real self, you have to put boundaries. So you become a more objective communicator. Like now, the performative me before healing was yes, mommy, yes, mommy. So after healing, I started to ask more questions. You know, why the things that my mother wanted me to contribute, why are they important? Because that's belonging to a WhatsApp group, or, you know, attending a funeral of somebody that I had no relationship with, and just because they are relatives. And the fear, even in church, ati wewe utazikwa na nani? See, I'll be dead. See, the problem is you as guys. You'll be dead.
Actually,
It
when
does
I'm
not
dead, I
matter.
don't have to tell you to. You will dispose me whether you like it or not.
Yeah. So see, Kwani, how is that a problem of mine? So a lot of the things that you see people doing are out of fear. And all of this, it's, you know, fear is very manipulative. And we are society, like we just manipulate each other. And people are in this rat race just because of fear. So when you heal, you start to realize, all these performative, imagine me, I was tired, the burden. But I think the person who saw, who was unburdened the most was my husband.
You tell us about that journey. Now in black and white. Now you are now you've gotten married to this gentleman, and now, at what point did you discover that something is off?
First of all, we are two different people, very, very different, as we should. My husband is the firstborn, and he, he did not have an elderly mother to take care of, and then he's also male. Also in our society, the way women and men are socialized is different. I say women, especially Kikuyu. Let me speak for Kikuyu, where I'm Kikuyu, yeah? Women, we are socialized in a way that we are parentified in responsibility, but infantilized in authority. Okay? What does that mean? That what I was able to do at home when I was 8 years old, kukamua ng'ombe, na kupikia wamama waitega chai wote, 30 of them, If you are my brother, I didn't have younger brothers, but I had nephews, So what I was expected to do, my mother could not have expected my brother to be able to do those things. But mind you, my brother could even be older than me, Na akona mikono na kila kitu. But because I am a girl, especially in the Kikuyu society and community, you are their expectations. It's like kugurumiwa kukua bibi ya mtu. Started being groomed very early. So we take on that it is my responsibility to make other people comfortable. We take on that as women because of how we are socialized. We are parentified with the responsibility. Yeah. How are men socialized in our Kikuyu culture? Men are socialized, parentified in authority, infantilized in responsibility. Ikifika ni kupika wewe ni kababa. Lakini ikifika mkienda shule na waboi ni the older wanaoenda unapewa school fees ukalipe. Because she cannot make the right decisions. Atatupa pesa.
Yeah. When I'm cooking for you, I have all the authority. I am okay, I'm sane. But when it comes to just giving money to a teacher, I am not thinking.
Exactly. Anything important, it's in the custodian of boys and men. Yeah, but anything that needs to be done is in women's hands. So that is how our society socialized it. So we have to also look at the genesis of all of this.
Yes.
So me coming from that, being parentified as the one who sorts out all the needs in the home in terms of what needs to be done. And obviously Maina socialized as a Kikuyu male.
And he's a firstborn.
He's a firstborn.
And the lastborn.
I'm the lastborn. And me, the people I was caring for were not my siblings. It was my mother and my nephews and nieces. Okay, those are the ones that I grew up with. So here we are, we meet with this dude in Kawa West many years back. And him also, I am an extrovert. I like to talk, as you can tell.
Yeah.
Me, whether I've come from dysfunction or shame, I'm like, whatever, you'll see my mask and all of them. Him, he's the observer. That you'll tell stories, listening. And at the end of that whole story, he will not say anything. Okay, about invalidation. Why does he not say anything? Because he does not see the need. His interest was just to hear you. Me, I was telling you, so that first of all you can tell me, that's great.
Exactly. I think that you should have done this instead of
or even not, like this.
I swear to God, my husband, I think, was born to be a therapist or something. Like he's one of those people who can observe and not say anything. But what will come out of his mouth will build your life. Yeah. So me being a yapping, and he would just be quiet. And he's like,
Wana uongei.
Kwa hiyo saa zingine ni mshene labda ya home. Kwa chama. And he's like, that thing, my friend, eats you on the inside. If especially you are, in behavioral therapy also, with the assessments that we do, personality or attitudinal assessment. So there is something we call the attachment theory that shows us the different attachment styles. Me, in that group of insecure attachments, I was a typical anxious preoccupied. Always thinking of how to make people comfortable and, and feel good. And where does anxious preoccupation come from? It comes from the fear of people are going to leave, of rejection and abandonment. So that was my wound.
Yeah.
So then I'm relating with a guy who does not have that fear.
Yes.
So me, I'm trying so hard to make him not leave. And him is like, why are you so anxious, man?
Tulia.
Yeah, like Tulia. Like, like, I'm not your family. So it is that.
Yes.
So the stuff that causes now, because what happens, especially even in dating and in attraction, we attract each other based on our attachment styles. Even in how we get attracted to each other, when trauma is involved, and remember, sisi wa Kenya tumekunyia ako kakikombe. Even if you grew up in the safest home, there is all of these things passed from the time of colonization down. You can look at intergenerational trauma and see how it travels down.
Yeah.
So there is something there. If you are lucky, you have none, or you have healed, perhaps your partner will come with something. So we attract each other also based on those attachment styles.
So how did you solve wewe you are when mtu wa kuongea,
yes,
and your husband minor,
he's
ni
mtu quiet. Yes. Now I want to show you how that plays out. So when you're anxious, preoccupied, how you view yourself is my needs don't matter, your needs matter.
Oh.
Okay? That's the general view of anxious, preoccupied people. My needs don't matter, other people's needs matter. And that is why you are constantly looking for ways to make people happy and make them comfortable. Then, if you're avoidant, either you are fearful avoidant or you are dismissive, the way you view the world is, if you are dismissive, my needs matter, yours don't matter. No one else's matter. If you are fearful avoidant, my needs don't matter, neither yours. You see, none of us needs matter. If you have a secure attachment, you realize my needs matter, and so do you. You see. So, me, I'm here, my needs don't matter, other people matter. So you can imagine. So I am telling all of these stories to my husband in a way to keep him updated and whatever. And him, I have not done the assessment, but I can tell my husband is on the avoidance spectrum. Yes, things don't bother him. Yes. So he's just responding as him. And here, the need for anxious, preoccupied people to be right and to make other people happy.
Yes.
So when he's quiet, that tells me he's not happy. Sawa. So what am I taking that? Remember, this wood comes from rejection and abandonment. So, simfreshi. Sindio, he's not happy.
What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, what am I doing
So you
wrong?
start looking for something else
Yes.
to do.
To blame.
To
make him happy.
Yeah, by the
And
way.
making him happy is suppressing my own needs. So if I had any need to ask, that is not the right time to express my need, because I don't want to make him unhappy. And in that case, what has just happened? I have held resentment now. So even when he's thinking, oh my goodness, you know what? Let me make my wife tea. Iyo chai hata sitaki kuikunywa. Now, because I already have resentment. You see, from the thing. So I'm telling you, trauma, the way it shows up in relationships. So in that case, you keep trying, but because you are never having your needs met, you hold a lot of resentment. Not resentment that you'll tell your partner that I am resentful. I didn't like the fact that you did not say anything. And this is the thing. Trauma makes you childish. Yes, it does. And healed trauma makes you like a child, because a healthy adult knows there's something called communication. Why are you not responding to me? You see?
Oh, so you just choose to just keep quiet, go out there and feel like, oh my God, I was not, rather than, why are you not even talking back to me? Why didn't you say anything?
Yes.
Where you could have just said that, but you choose to.
Even ask a
You
question.
didn't choose. That's what you learned. That anytime I say what I need, people will leave. People will reject me. People will not accept me, including the one who loves me and the one I love. So even just getting together, I say, like, this healing should start before people get it together. Because you can see, if my needs don't matter, I think yours do. And if you're on the avoidant, you think my needs matter, the other person doesn't. Guess what? We are perfect fit. See, I'm coming to your life to meet your needs. And you want your needs met. You see how in dating, when we are dating, it is such a match made in heaven. I say a match made in trauma. Yeah.
Trauma brought you together.
It's a trauma bond.
The fear also
Yes,
brought you together.
That is what we call
So,
a trauma bond.
so you guys stayed for how long before you discovered that things were not really as it's supposed to be?
My saving grace was, remember my husband is not having any problem, by the way, right?
Yeah.
He's doing him and he's kind and he's doing the things he's supposed to do with his wife. Kashita kalikuwa hapa. Yes. So the saving grace for me is because you see, I told you earlier about all of that issues growing up. So I knew that I wanted to go into medicine and I wanted to be a psychiatrist first to heal the level of mental health that was in my family. Well, as fate would have it, I didn't get into medicine. I didn't pass 844 here. So I couldn't go to university. When the opportunity for Canada came, I knew priority is school. Yes, I also didn't get into med school, so I got into nursing school. And what was my focus? Psychiatry. I wanted to understand. So the saving grace is when we went to Canada together. So we are together, these things are happening, but I'm also in class. So you are learning. So the first instinct of something is not right was me learning in class. And then from there, as we go on, I was, again, anxious, preoccupied, unapendwa na watu, mpaka walimu. So I also had some of the professors who really liked me. And so one of them is actually the one who asked me. And how did this come about? We were doing group work in class, and my group mates, they were all white. So obviously, my accent and my thinking capacity to them is low. So we were put in this group involuntarily, but they didn't want to be in it. So they were not participating. So, see me, I'm afraid to fail.
Yeah.
So instead of going to the teacher, whatever, I decided to do the work alone so that I don't fail. So I did the work. Come presentation day, see, they knew they had not done the work. So they are okay to fail rather than work with me. Who is Irene? I go in the front and I say, in our group, we had me, I list them. And one young man stood up and said, no, I was not in your group. So the teacher was, the professor was concerned. What? So in that moment, again, what does that do? Rejection. I actually teared. So, but I still went on and I did the presentation, which until today I have a recommendation letter in my portfolio from that professor.
Nice.
So it was a good outcome. But in that moment, she noticed something. So she called me after in her office and said, what was happening? I said, well, they didn't. I tried to message them and whatever, and they did not participate. But me, I wanted to do it so that we don't fail. She told me, it is excellent what you did, except if you did not use the word we. You see? Yeah, why do you think...
For the team.
Yeah, why do you think it's your responsibility for other people's marks? Other people's marks is your response. Why do you think that? That was the first instinct that
You started
my
opening
demon
your eyes.
was beat. Yeah. She said, why? Where does that come from? And I cried in that office. And she's the one who said, you need to see a therapist. And thank God from that time. So even by the time I was graduating, I had started seeing a therapist. From now, the campus, and then when I graduated, I was referred to somebody else. And I was in therapy for many years, to the extent in which I could afford, because it's very expensive. But that is when I learned all of these things. And what? Yeah.
So at that point, sasa ukajua, we're talking about how many years maybe?
Yeah. So we are talking about actually 19, 20 years.
No, I'm saying these years of discovery, of you knowing that...
When you're
15
married.
years.
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years of my life
so,
now.
so you can...
Like when we were, how long we had stayed, we were married before the healing.
Yes.
So first of all, we met in 1999. Okay?
Yeah.
So
I was 1 year old.
yes. Don't disclose my age.
Uh-huh.
So you can imagine. And this is happening like 2007. So do the math.
Okay.
8 years. 8 years of chaos. And it's me creating chaos. It's actually not me. It's my trauma creating chaos.
What?
Yes. In those 8 years, if you ask everyone who knew me from this side of the world, I was the nicest person. I took care of people.
Even needs zile hata hazikuhusu.
Let me tell you one of the craziest things. If you are listening and you're anxious, preoccupied, let me tell you our gift. We have a supernatural gift of even seeing problems that don't exist. And the goal, it is because we create problems where they don't exist.
So that you can
to
help.
solve them, so that we can feel good about ourselves. That is what.
Not from the point of care.
We create problems even when they don't exist. In terms of, nitaona mtoto wako hiyo shule anasomea sio mzuri na yeye. Yeah, and I'll take it upon me to change, to move them from, kwanza watu wenye wako diaspora, wenye wako anxious, preoccupied, God help you. You all need to be in my class of healing.
Haya.
Yeah.
Unaona mtoto wangu, unaona AJ kwenye ile shule yenye yako hafai.
Yes. So you move them, because moving them, remember their parent has not expressed any problem.
Or any need.
You move them. Even this child you're moving, they were okay. They had a lot of friends. You move them, you put them to this school that is making you feel good, okay? And you pay your money. And then this child does not perform. So now the resentment you have towards this child. And it's not because they were fine. They had friends, and kids require friends and safe environments to learn. Now you've brought them to an environment that is unfamiliar. You've created a threat. They cannot learn. So they fail. And now the parent is blaming you.
Please, those who are watching us, have that burden. I need a Range Rover. See that need?
Seriously. So
What?
Trauma is chaotic.
At that point, Ebu, look at this camera. I don't know which one my director will tell me. And you talk to couples who are in those chaotic. Yani, you think your partner ni yeye mbaya.
Yeah.
But probably it's the traumas.
My friend, every single person is doing them. Whether you are doing your roles and your ideals because of trauma, or you are doing your real self. So the issue of you didn't, whatever, that one, it's perhaps underlying trauma that needs to be healed.
So, like now, for example, this case of Wambui saying that she doesn't love ironing my clothes. So how do you resolve that?
So let me ask you a question, and forgive me if I come out as disrespectful. So you are married. You are looking for a wife because you could not iron your clothes, or you are looking for a wife for what reason?
It's getting hot, guys.
So no, I'm asking you a question. Yeah. Why did you look for a wife? Because in my, like now, my healthy adult mind, if your need is for someone to iron clothes, I don't see why you went for a beautiful woman. You could have gone for a masculine dude. Those one can iron day and night. So it's like
it was an example. It was an example.
It's an example because it's something real that is happening in our house.
Yeah. So it is, first of all, why is her ironing your clothes important? So you answer that question.
Okay.
So maybe it is validating a part of you that you need to heal. Has nothing to do with who irons the clothes. The clothes just needs to be ironed. Does it matter whether we take them to the dry cleaners, whether we give them to the house help? Or like, does it matter? The clothes are ironed. If it's you that needed to be bathed, that's a whole other conversation. Who washes, who irons, does it matter?
Who cooks?
Who cooks? Does it matter?
You want food.
If there is a special diet, as my husband, yes, I will go out of the way. Not only that, I will even train, if we have a helper in the house, I will train them. You know, so trauma makes us focus on things that are, you know, all of those society ideals. They drive They drive our decisions.
This is what you should do
You
to
should.
your husband, you know, like
Serve your husband.
And for me, we were talking yesterday, and I was telling him, babe, there is this word of helping each other. We came together so that sometimes we can help each other, and we are lovers. The first thing is like we love each other, and then there is now helping each other. Like, it is not a duty of a wife to do all these things that you have put in your mind, that, oh, you're supposed to be doing this, and you're like, but you're helping each other. That's why you see people getting tired in marriage, and they're like, why did you leave each other? And they're like, I just got tired. They don't have any valid reason.
No
as to
cheating,
why-
no nothing, no.
as to why aliachai marriage. It's like, you know what, I just got tired. I just feel like this thing is not for me. I'm tired. I'm no longer me. I don't do things that I like. I just do things that this other person, you know, like I was told a wife is supposed to be doing this, a husband is supposed to be doing this. We are helping each other.
So
The
even
fact that I am occupied in the morning on a Sunday, everyone is getting busy. You need to take tea. Just water in a dispenser. I mean, anyone can do that. You know, we are all getting ready.
Yeah.
But you know, the notion in our society is
it's an African thing actually.
a woman is supposed to live. Hata kama alikuwa kwa bafu and your husband wants tea at that time, you know, you leave, you come with your towel there and just serve your husband, and then now you can go and shower.
Serve my man.
You know what I say? If a couple agrees to do that, that's fine. I say every single couple, well, just do you. Do what works for you.
Exactly.
And I say, you know, the reason I say that because I know the before and after healing trauma. Because all of these are things that I thought out of obligation. I am a wife. I'm supposed to do A, B, C, D.
And your man is cool.
And you see,
And your man even doesn't want all that.
He's the kind of people who, you know what, he even enjoys his food. And he wants you to enjoy his food as well. But he also enjoys my chapati. And you know, my stew and my pilau. So does it matter who is cooking at any given time? Number two, we are not in the generation of our parents.
Yes.
Right now, you know, we are professionals. We have to go to work, especially now. Imagine this trauma was playing in the context of being abroad. Huko hakuna house help, huko hakuna sister ama. Like as we were just in Canada, the two of us. So you have kids here. You know, thank God all of this trauma was before kids. By the time the kids came, now there was, you know, there was
order.
There was order. God bless those children because they experienced two healthy, healed adults. Hey, before that, ingekuwa drama. So a lot of the things we do, they're out of obligation and out of fear of things that we have had we should do. So when we don't do them, how will people say? It's the same fog again, eh?
It's the same of how are people going to take this?
Yeah.
How people are going to, and in the first place, it's how people, not how.
Not even
Yes,
you.
not how I feel, not how
Okay.
my husband will feel.
All right.
Because I may not iron your clothes, but imagine I'll make
There's
you feel
something-
really good.
Exactly. Yeah. There's something else that
Make you feel
I am
good
okay
about
with.
yourself. Forget about the damn clothes that we put in the dirty laundry at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Madam Irene, how do trauma responses like avoidance, people pleasing, your hyper independence affect intimacy in relationship?
In so many dynamics. One, what trauma does, you know, trauma makes people emotional beings. Yes. Human doings, not human beings. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So you can imagine either one or two human doings coming together. So all you'll be seeing is what they do, whether it is good or bad, the output. There is never an element of just being, you know? Yeah. Because remember, trauma creates these layers. So you are being attracted to a big ball of performativeness. The other one the same.
Yeah.
But you really never touch into the being. The being lies in the real self. Yeah. So now, see, you are hyped in the initial stages of that relationship. And then you realize, hey, see, now you see in my case, resentment starts to build. So when I have resentment, I respond to my husband without respect. When men are responded to without respect, they respond without love. So do you see? Yeah, men value respect, women value love and affection. Yeah. So because of that resentment, where do you think there will be respect? And so when there's no respect, there's no love coming. My wound is fear and abandonment. So do you see how now I will create my world as Sipendwi? He no longer cares. He has changed. No, he's been the same. He's just not you. He's different. And because you have your own traumas as well, you have no capacity to understand that or to even see that. Your trauma is the one that is responding to what is reacting. Trauma reacts. A healed adult mind responds to things. Yeah, so these reactions need trauma reactions. Trauma is being triggered all through. Yeah, so you get to that point where you are now in the same house, but in different worlds. And even now, even when people talk about things like people, I don't know how much you earn, you don't know how much I earn. It's like almost, we just sleep in the same house. We are roommates, kind of. Yes, it gets there.
Yes.
We are roommates because we are so far apart, because our beings never interacted. Yes, and you see roles change, circumstances change, times, so they never interacted. So I have a lot of empathy even when I do couples work, that sometimes by the time couples realize they actually need help, they need a third objective person, they've lived in these roommates kind of things, situation for like 10 years. Like, oh my goodness, like you've been dead, just breathing. Yeah. Because
You're existing.
yeah, you're just breathing. Yeah, you're not alive. You've just been breathing. Every day you pray to God, you breathe and you breathe.
You adapted.
Yeah.
But sadly,
And
I don't. That's why you are here. I don't like it the way, especially this generation is talking about marriage. They have adapted to things that they are not supposed to be adapting. Marriage yukwa hivyo. Marriage yukwa.
Yeah,
You just
like it's
accept.
just normal.
It's just
Ni
normal.
normal. And then
Alicheat.
they'll
Utapata wapi mwanaume wako mmoja and
yeah, and then people will get into marriage with that perception of, it's life. It's the way it's supposed to be. Hakuna mwanaume
nature.
wako. Like, and then no, the one that you said, you respond with resentment, and then for you without love. So that one affects intimacy.
Big time. Big time. Because how are you going to connect? Yeah. How are you going to connect? Yeah. You can't. You are so you see, you've been so distant. It's just you have the same physical location. But your emotions, your minds, your needs are so distant from each other. So at that point, you are both at the mercy of other people. Yeah, because every single person requires to be seen, to be heard, and to be understood. And that's why even, when you realize this and when you hear and you raise consciousness, you realize that the things or the behaviors that you see even in a marriage relationship, they have, and again, you keep talking about behavioral therapy. Yes, everything has a root cause. It's not just a choice I just want to. No, that is again a myth.
There is a way you are behaving the way you are
Men
behaving.
cannot be with one woman. Women cannot be trusted. No, that is a myth. People have reached a point of so much pain again that they have to do something. Yeah.
Oh, it's pain.
It is pain because that is abandonment and rejection. Each party is experiencing rejection, and rejection is very painful. So people will look for ways to relieve their pain. Yes.
And accepting things that are not supposed to be that way.
Yes.
Adapt.
Yeah. So instead of all of this, we need to talk about the pain before it starts to, affect and cause us to go look for relief. And I wished we talked about this even, what are these before you get married.
Premarital classes.
Yeah, marital classes. Yeah,
I think it is more.
And
it
even
is important.
in church, we need to talk about, things don't just happen. Maneno ya kuambia ati Jimmy, sijui usiende ije, wabu usiende ije. That is not going to help people. People need to understand, where does this come from? These are people who are wounded. And believe it or not, if that wound is not healed,
It will affect this
there
relationship.
is no superhuman. There is no ati sijui nini, hakuna superhuman. We must not lie to ourselves.
Yeah,
Science is telling us. Yes. There is no superhuman. Yes.
So what's the difference between being a supportive partner and becoming a therapist to your partner?
Well, I don't think there is anyone in a relationship who wants a therapist in their partner.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Support, I say, is, what does support look like? Is your presence, Support is, do I make my wife feel seen? Do I make my wife feel heard? Do I make my wife feel understood in her language? You see? Yeah. But what comes in the way of that is, again, trauma creates a need for control in both genders, whether male or female. Yes. So the need for control, remember, is I have to be right. So the need for control is what creates the disengagement. But when you realize, and when control is not there, and especially when you heal some of these things, and it's so easy to heal, by the way. Yeah, it is. I've done even a whole class of 8 sessions, just walking people through, and it's online and it is free to air. You just purchase and you listen on your own, ama with your wife, and you do this behavioral assessment, and you understand your attitudes, your personality, and everything, including what you need to do, is there. So they are so easy, but I think people don't have.
Personality test.
Yes. They are there. That program is called Thrive. I used to do it every Thursday, but then the demand became too much.
It has the temperaments.
It has everything. Okay. It has everything.
That one we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've done it more and more times again.
We'll do it again.
Reading a book called Njoroge, and the first topic is why your partner behave the way he behaves, why people behave the way they behave.
From a temperament.
Yeah, from temperaments.
So there are temperaments, and then there are personalities, and then there are attitudes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
this
one goes down through, including not just now outside of your. First is understanding you. Understanding how you relate from your parents, your siblings, your wife, and now even how you relate with the people who you work with your work, how you even relate with your money, and now your children. It's all, and it's 5,000. We discounted it, and people who have done it, even the reviews they leave, it's like, oh my goodness. And that is the exact same thing that I said also, oh my goodness. Why did someone give me this sooner? Because self-awareness is the biggest gift you can give yourself. It relieves you of stress, anxiety. It gives you peace. Yeah. And one of the things, it takes away your desire to control. Like, who are you controlling? Even your children, Ace and Jakes, my friend. It's only now they require you to change their diaper, masiji, buy their food. By the time, and that's why you see, many of us, by the time we are 17, we are looking at our parents like they have 3 heads. Because of the control that we lived with. Yeah. But even as young as your kids are, imagine, and I hope that we may come back and talk about parenting, especially young parents at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Control will create rebellion, whether to your wife, to your employees, to your colleagues, or even to your children. Control creates rebellion because you cannot control a human mind. So it will automatically create rebellion. Yes.
Na ndio kulikuwa na wazee wengine huko ushago ati akisikikana ndio huyo kila mtu chini ya meza nini. But in the next maybe if time allows, we'll also be glad to host you and we talk more about parenting, because especially our podcast, so many young couples are really watching and would like this podcast to help as many as we can. Thank you so much, Madam Irene Njoroge. Maybe you can give out your contact and let people know where you are located, because people need these more conversations.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, Wambui and Kajim. It's been great conversations and I also enjoyed.
Yes.
And to the viewers, I as I said, I am a behavioral therapist. I do a lot of couples work. My specialty also is in trauma, mental health, addictions. And I lead a team in a facility called Kafrik International. Some of you may have heard it. Others say we've never had anything like that. And we have a medical facility, mental health facility in Thika, 30 beds, fully licensed. Ukiona mali unaonanga Del Monte shops after Blue Post, you are home. We are in that estate. Beyond that, we have an outpatient office, and this one is in Westlands on Wayaki Way. And the number to get to us is 0768 665 921. 0768 665 921. You can host up there, you can send a message, and on all socials, we go by Kafrik International. And if anyone has a question directly to me, also, I am on socials, LinkedIn and whatever, as Irene Njoroge. That is my name and my brand. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I would like you to look at this camera and give us your punchline in regards to relationships and trauma.
Yeah. I'll say there is no manual for relationships. Remember that even in relationships, there are voluntary relationships, involuntary relationships. Relationships that are intimate, they are involuntary. You know, you are not forced. They are voluntary, sorry. They are voluntary. You are not forced, you chose to be with that person. So just one of the things that I need to say about trauma makes us attracted or bond with each other based on our traumas or our masks. Over time, those masks are going to fall because you can only put a mask for so long when someone is looking at your face. You see, at a sneeze, you will sneeze. Yes. So remember, the things that we say someone changed or they've changed, they do this, they are disrespectful, it's just perhaps their trauma mask falling. Okay? So be gentle with each other, be kind. And I say now, especially the young couples and relationships, you guys have resources that the generations even before us did not have. You have information. You have the world. There are so many books now written. So don't just tolerate, tolerating there or playing victim in a situation. There is a lot that you can do. And perhaps I hope that which you can do is towards you developing your own self-awareness, your own healing, because only then you can look at your partner with your real eyes, not the masks. Yeah. And then when you do that, they'll also feel safer to put down their mask. So one person can start that journey, and it transforms the other one as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And we can do that at Kafrik, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wambui, your punchline?
My punchline. For me today was more of learning and listening. I'm like, I've learned, and one thing is, I've just understood that we should just deal with our traumas before we even try to handle someone extra in our lives. Like, we should really, really dig deep down in our hearts, because most of the things that we portray out here, they are results of trauma. And trauma is not necessarily showed out there like the bad side of you. Actually, it shows more of the better side of you, because you're doing it for you to be seen.
Validated.
We want to be seen and all that, but we cover all that for validation. So I have seen trauma in another different way. You see, all these things you are doing because of trauma, but someone might think it's really something nice of you. It is the response that puts you down. It is the response. But as for you, you're portraying your trauma in a very good way. People would like you to continue doing that. Trauma is not just something bad. Like, it doesn't come out like bad. There are people like who would portray trauma like, maybe umegongo, you're furious each and every time you're bitter, but now the fact that you're bitter, you show in a better way. So, but it is the response that changes you. Anyway, I'm learning, and I'm hoping you're learning as well with me.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming to One-on-One with Kajim. this is Marriage Works, and we are here to say marriage must work. Even those who are thinking that ilikuwa hivi, umesikia hata si maneno mingi, ni trauma bro, ni trauma sis, ni trauma which you need to heal. And you have heard about fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. Those are the forces that makes people even to be in trauma for a very long time, thinking that you are the best kid, you are the best thing, and all those things they are hiding under the carpet. But that's why we are here, to make sure that one-on-one with Kajim will bring you authenticity, good guest, which will make you even open your eyes. And that is one-on-one with Kajim. We'll make it raw. We'll come and have those conversations which we don't have to have. Uncomfortable ones. Hapa kwa one-on-one. Thank you so much. My name is Kajim. Until next time, thank you so much. We look forward to having you, Irene, again, and especially in parenting. Hapo mambo ni mingi sana. Asanteni sana. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, and share. Hii si ile conversation na kukaa hivi. Tumia hata beshte yako mwambie, hebu watch hiyo usikie ni kama maybe venye ulikuwa unaniambia, wacheni hiyo mambo ya guesswork. Hiyo mambo ya guesswork tuache. Maybe it is because so many challenges that we have in marriages today is because probably of trauma. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Marriage works and marriages work.